Okay, this is the review of the last anime I promised to review from 2014, which is Patlabor, quite possibly one of my favorite anime series of all time. It was written by Headgear and animated by various different animators, and had a quite impressive cast of both Japanese and English voice actors. It's set in the near future of 1998. So it kind of tells you how old this anime is. It came out in the 80s, kind of like how Gundam came in the late 70s, early 80s. Patlabor came in the late 80s, early 90s, and while it had movies in the early 2000s, that's kind of its run. Like Gundam, it has a bunch of different continuities. So the continuity that you would read in the manga is different from one of the OVA series, anime series, and different from the TV series, which is different from the movies, which is different from the live action. You get the idea. So there's a lot of different aspects to this, but they're all pretty much written by Headgear, and well written, I should say. One of the big selling points for me is that while the mecha is important to the series, much like as it is in Gundam or Robotech, it does not make the series like Gundam or Robotech does. If you'll remember, Gundam was created as an anime to help sell a toy, which was the giant robot Gundam. Not so much here. This is an actual story, and the storylines, like I said, they kind of differ from continuity to continuity. But basically, you have the same list of characters. Captain Goto, his counterpart Captain Shinobu. Both of them kind of flirt with each other a little bit. There's Noah Izumi, who is the pilot of the new Ingram mecha or Patlabor, which is supposed to be the top of the line Shinohara product, and her support staff consists of Azuma Shinohara, who is the son of the company that makes the labors. The labors themselves are, like I said, they're mecha, but they are, very utilitarian. They're construction labors. They're they're programmed, or they can be piloted. They do heavy lifting. They do heavy work. And what happens is that the military started to use the Patlabors, and of course what happens is that criminals get a hold of these things and use them for their own nefarious ends. So Tokyo decided to create Division 2, which is the Patlabor unit. So they created labors that were actually patrol labors. So they go out and fight crime, and as the people, when they're not piloting the Patlabors, they are acting as detectives. So like I said, the storylines are actually pretty good. There's quite a few different ones. Some of the major ones are one where a separate company, a rival of Shinohara, is creating its own labor force, and they continuously try to fight the Patlabors to upgrade their own products. Another one, which is a really good storyline, has to do with a military type person who kind of breaks with reality and tries to take over the country by taking over Tokyo, the seat of government. Another storyline is quite simply the beginning of Patlabor units and how the group comes together. These are all really good, like I said, well-written stories. The animation of the anime itself differ from continuity, from TV series to OVA to the movies, but you can tell that a lot of effort was put into it. So there's a lot of quality animation here. Oh, and one other storyline I failed to mention is the Babylon Project, which is part of the TV series, and that is the first Patlabor movie, which I highly suggest you watch. So again, the labors are not these fancy things that fly through space and have these huge laser rifles and guns and a huge ass revolver as their primary weapons. So it's really all about the pilot, and of course there's no magic thing that, you know, only certain people can certain pilot certain labors and things like that. It's not like that at all. You're either it's kind of like driving a car. Either you're really good at it or you're not. And for the Patlabors, you just have to be good at it to be a pilot. So anyway, as I said, this is one of my favorites. If you like mecha anime and you want to see something that's stripped down to its basic, to its core, and focuses on a better relationship between the humans and the mechas, I strongly urge you to watch this anime. It's called Patlabor.